AI will replace a lot of jobs, and that will happen. It's already started to happen. Those that get on board in that AI journey early enough are going to set yourselves up for a lot more success in the future. The divide is going to get bigger between those that are utilizing these types of tools. I've got a small amount of coding experience, like very, very limited, very basic coding experience. All I am doing is talking to it and telling it what I want. How much of a game changer this is. If you look at the platform that I built, I reckon there's probably 20 grand's worth of software development that's gone into building that platform. And I've done it in 20 hours of work while sitting by the beach on holiday. It's cost me... Jack touched on this last week briefly, but I've been the one involved in utilizing it, testing it out, preparing stuff, and really going quite deep on it. So I'm going to go a little bit deeper, show you what this is capable of, and just have a general sort of show and tell about what's been done so far and what it's capable of doing. So if you've not checked out the Diary of a CEO episode, it's the AI Agents Emergency Debate. It's extremely interesting, scary, to be fair, around some of the views around AI and AGI, which is artificial general intelligence, whereby AI basically becomes almost as a human almost, and where that might lead. There's a lot of conversations around how AI will replace a lot of jobs, and that will happen. It's already started to happen. And those of you that get on board in that AI journey early enough and jump on it as a sort of early mover are going to set yourselves up for a lot more success in the future. That divide between successful, non-successful, wealth divide, inequality, all that stuff that's being talked about a lot lately with wealth inequality and things like that. The divide is going to get bigger between those that are utilizing these types of tools and being useful with it. And as Daniel Priestley says, having agency around it, i.e. not just urgency, but agency, will be faster, better off in the longer term than somebody that kind of buries their head in the sand and sticks to not understanding it and not utilizing it within their businesses. So very interesting debate. Go and check it out on the Diary of CEO. But one of the people on that debate was talking about Replit, which is effectively, as they've said it on their homepage, turning your ideas into apps. These are all the types of things that you can type into it and it will create whatever you tell it to do. Obviously, it's not as easy as that, but I wanted to talk through and show you exactly the processes that I've gone through, all of the things I've asked it to do, the outputs that it's given me in terms of creating an XP Surveys client portal. This is something we've talked about for a long, long time in terms of integrating our clients, our surveyors, our internal processes, our teams, all into one portal where all of the information is located and we can upload documents, we can share information with our clients, we can get external surveyors to work as part of the XP Surveys brand and create a network, nationwide network of surveyors that all feed into our processes. And that's what this portal is, we're planning to do with this client portal. So I'm going to jump into a few of the things that we've been able to do. On the left-hand side, you can see all of the coding where you type all of your information and what you want it to do. And then on the right-hand side, it gives you a preview of your app, of your web platform. I've deployed this app. So I've done all of the development. I've deployed it into the internet. So if anyone goes to xps/portal.replit.app, it will come up with a portal. This isn't the finished article, but this gives you a sense of what you're likely to see. You can see on the left-hand side, I can switch. So what I've done here is create a portal that is suitable for 3 different people within our businesses. You've got the admin portal, which is this one where all of our team can access all of our project information. You can see all of the people who have user access to the portal. You can see all of our clients. You can see all of our external surveyor base. And then if you are a surveyor, you can log into the surveyor side of the portal and you can see all of the jobs that you've either won or you've been allocated or the projects that you're working on, and you can upload information to the portal via your login. And then you've got the client portal. So the client logs in. Aura Architecture is a client of XP Surveys. They can log in and I can see my projects. I've got 5 projects being surveyed at the moment. In each survey, I can see what stage they're at. Has it been surveyed on site? Has it gone through the drawing process? Is it in the QC process? Are we expecting to make payments, etc.? And this has all been built, by the way, with, I've got a small amount of coding experience, like very, very limited, very basic coding experience. For anyone that doesn't have any coding experience, you can still make these things happen because all I am doing is talking to it and telling it what I want. And these are some of the things that I have been able to get it to do, and some of the things that I will be, continuing to work on and improving the process with. So Replit is the central integrated AI agent that works on your behalf to build the app. And what I've been able to do is,
if this video resonates with you and you can take away just one thing into your business which will make it better, then creating this video has been a success. If you do get value and are getting value, click subscribe down below. That would mean so much. Back to the video.
Integrate all of the key components within our business. Our website is a WordPress-based website, so I've given it integration access to see our website, so it can see all of the back end within our website. It can see all of the instant quoting process, which is actually done via Pipedream, so it can then pull in all of the information from our projects via Asana. It connects to our CRM, which is HubSpot, and pulls all of our client data from HubSpot. It integrates with Google Drive, so all of the documents that we want to upload into our client portal from our Drive can be integrated. And then it can also integrate with Xero to send invoices, track payments. So all of those different tools can be pulled together via Replit to manipulate and display and process however the hell you want. And it does this thing with something called an API. You probably would have heard of it if you are relatively tech savvy. It stands for Application Programming Interface. Now, an API is effectively the bit in between the app, the website, and then the data box that it's trying to pull that information from. And this is I found this on the internet. It looked quite good. It sort of explained it. It explains it from a restaurant perspective. So your application is your customer. You're sat there, you're waiting. Your waiter comes over and takes your order. Now your waiter is the API. They're the ones that take things from orders from the table and send that information to the kitchen. The kitchen then gives the waiter the food, the data, the information. They take it back to the application stroke customer who's sitting at the table. So an API basically takes information from a data server or a location on the internet and takes it back to wherever it's being asked for. So which is your application, your platform. So that's an API. So what I've been able to do with our platform is from day one, and I guess sort of these are some top tips and top tools that I've learned whilst delivering and creating and using Replit to date. I have tried to give it as much information as I possibly can. So when I started, my initial brief was, we are a surveying business. We want to integrate our clients with our freelance surveyors and our internal teams to have one portal, one place where we can have all of our information. Everyone can integrate with it, and it's a one place fits all type program. To then give the AI even more information, I've uploaded various things. So I've given it our tech stack. So we have a PDF presentation where it says, this is what our website does for us. This is how we integrate our instant quoting tool. These are the platforms that we use: Google Cloud for addresses, Ordnance Survey data, instant quoting tool. All of that process has been given it to us. We've said, here's a PDF slide deck of all of the processes within our business. I've given it a fee proposal, which is what you can see on site. So a typical fee proposal saying, this is what we do for our clients. This is who we are. This is the structure that we provide. And these are our T's and C's. So it also has a full understanding of what our terms and conditions are. So I'm uploading things like this to the AI, and it comes back with something like this. Excellent. This fee proposal document is incredibly valuable for understanding your business processes. I can see some key information that would be perfect for integrating into the portal. So it's basically read all of that information within like 2 seconds, and it's come back and said, this document shows exactly how professional and comprehensive your service offering is. The portal can automate much of this process while maintaining the quality and professionalism. Would you like me to start building a quote generation system, payment status tracking, service selection interfaces? It's taken all that information, it's understood your business in like 2 seconds, and then it's given you things that I hadn't even thought about integrating into the portfolio as an option. And I could just go and say, yes, create me a payment status tracking process. So I've just typed that into the API, and it goes away and creates a payment status tracking process. This is how powerful it is. So if I go back to the portal and show you some of the key things that it did for me with literally words. This is me telling the API agent that we want to be signing up freelance surveyors. So there's a lot of one-man band surveyors out there. Our goal with XP Surveys, to take it nationwide, is to create a freelancer marketplace effectively. So we win a project, we do all of the front-end marketing in our HQ, we've got all the admin, all the finance team, we win the work, we put it onto our portal, a freelance surveyor will basically bid for that work, and we'd outsource that survey to that freelancer. All I've said is I want a freelancer portal, I want freelancers to be able to sign up, so create me a sign-up form that a freelancer can come and provide their information. It's read all of our T's and C's. It's read all of our stat deck. It's read our website. The AI knows probably more about our business than we do. And it's literally created this form without me having to say anything. It was a 3-step form. It's got the contact information of the person inquiring for becoming a freelancer with us. It said, what services and experience do you have? So do you do 3D laser scanning? Do you do 3D modeling? Do you do drone surveying? All of these things, it's just taken from our website. It's asking for insurance and qualification details. What's not shown on this page, it did on the previous page, was what softwares do you use? Do you use Revit? Do you use AutoCAD? I've not told it to ask any of that. It's just learned how we operate as a business, and it's created a freelancer portal that is intuitive and gathers all the information that we might need to make a decision on that particular person. And then it creates, and it is broken at the moment, so I need to actually get into this and fix it. But when I click on freelancers,
sorry to interrupt. If you are tuning into this, love the idea of investing in or developing property, you have at least £50,000 cash, but don't have the time to deploy it, then why not consider investing in one of our XP projects? We're always raising more investment for our property pipeline, so head over to our website and register your interest to work with us now. Back to the video.
It brings up basically like a rating system. So Joe Blogs inquired to be a freelancer. He's got experience in 3D laser scanning using Revit, and he's based in this location. Here's my experience. Here's my CV. We can then rate that person so that we know when a job comes in, if they apply for it, do they have the relevant skills? We can see that very quickly. We can accept the winning bid or not, for example. The pricing for this, when I talk about how much of a game changer this is, if you look at the platform that I built, I reckon there's probably 20 grand's worth of software development that's gone into building that platform. And I've done it in probably 20 hours of work while sitting by the beach on holiday. It's cost me $25 for a month, and I think I've racked up another $10 in further quotes. So you get a cap. You have a $25 credit limit. You get up to 100 agent checkpoints. So there's various checkpoints as you go through using that agent. I maxed out on the 100, but it cost me, I think, $0.0025 per checkpoint thereafter. So I think for 40 quid, I've built the basics of a platform that would have probably taken 2 months in back and forth with a software developer and probably 20 grand's worth of fee. And I'm just going to be speaking to Trevor, our business development manager, next week. I'm going to be working with him to just continuously tweak and amend this portal to a point where, we get it to a live working portal that we can use internally. Like I said, it's already pulling through all of our data from the Asana boards. So if I go onto this all projects page, hopefully, if it's not broken still, all of these boards are live projects. Literally, I can see that this one was created on the 20th of May. This one was created on the 30th of May. Got a new survey that's been added to Asana. Using the API integration, Replit has pulled that information, put it into our portal. You've got all of the key information loaded up. I can see that the survey date is next Tuesday. That's purely done through the API integration that it's asked for.
What's even more scary for me is when you say 20 grand's worth of coding, and we chatted about this the other day, that's also, 20 grand down to 100 quid or whatever it costs. That's down to if you look at actual people coding on that and how many hours are spent out in terms of labor, it's scary in terms of how much that's going to change this industry. Typically, if you set up a business, the second thing you do after setting up a company, other than buying your domain, is set up a website. So it's a really good place to start and to start exploring with this type of technology to feed into your business and your business efficiency and building your own back-end systems. Because what Ben's essentially getting at is it's not only just a portal for us to communicate with clients, it's also our own portal internally, which imagine how efficient we're going to be on that, rather than potentially having to use project management software that we pay for monthly, and we can actually just build our own in this.
If you got value from this video, make sure you click the subscribe button down below and ring the notification bell, because we release one video at least every week, so be the first to get notified. See you on the next one.